opportunity to thank each and every one of you for showing up and coming out tonight to see Mr. Gilbert Young. My role, well, let me just put it this way. I own this gallery. All right. And let me just put it this other way. This is my daughter, and she's the director of this gallery. So that means that we're in charge, Miss Jewel. And that means that we do pretty much what we want to do. So my job is really to just kind of let shut up and let Charlize take over the introduction. But I want to say one thing before I hand it over to Charlize, Miss Charlize James. I just got to give her this credit and this praise because we've been here for over 40 years, right on this little corner, doing what we thought was important for this little area, trying to help people to understand the importance of art in our culture as well as other cultures. And Charlize is one of the few persons that took advantage of this gallery and the fact that it was here. She brought all types of tools through here to let the folk know that we had a black gallery, we had a black artist in time. I was proud of her for that because she seemed to be proud of what we were trying to do. She had performing art groups to come through. She had visual artists that she brought in from time to time. The artists that I had here with me at that particular time, which was maybe about 10 or more artists that used to be here with me, and we were here every day, every weekend, and Charlize opened a program, and she gave each and every one of those artists some extra work to do, along with what we were doing here. And let me tell you, every little bit that came through at that particular time, we needed it. I mean, we truly needed it. And I'm just appreciative to her for being as gracious as she was in that particular time, and especially not being ashamed of what we were trying to do on this little corner. You don't know what this little gallery has gone through to become where it is now. You wouldn't believe that this place had windows. Now it has 0 windows. And it was a time process where they all kind of like just kind of disappeared little bit by little bit because you had people on your case about you can't do this and you can't do that in a certain area or residential area or whatever it was. But we slowly, surely did what we needed to do. So without saying, taking up too much of the time, once again, I want to thank you for coming, and I want to take this opportunity to present Ms. Charlize James, one of the fine citizens in this little town of Fort Worth.
Well, thank you, McAnthony. And one of the things I want to say about this gallery, he's right. I came because I needed to help put something together with our fine arts program, and I needed some other kind of artist other than myself. And so the merry band of artists back during that time, Anita Knox, our beloved Anita Knox, and Dan Williams, and so many more, Adam Malone, they said, okay, they just followed me to the school and we created magic for students on the southeast side, at Dunbar and so many other places. But McAnthony's was the hub. This was a place where we could come and create, vent, and be artists in whatever form that was. And I'm not a painter, so don't think I'm invisible. And so many came through here. So this is a wonderful spirit. It has always had a spirit of allowing you as an artist. And even if you're not an artist, one of the beauties of this gallery, you don't feel intimidated, you feel at home because this is a place where you can learn and share. And that's one of the beauties of Eddie McAnthony, that teacher in him. It's always a teaching mode. All of the art exhibits have all had a theme and a reasoning and a mode behind it. So I feel that we're in very wonderful grounds that this gallery has maintained. I didn't know that it was 40 years. I only joined when I was 3. I was one of the child genius. I didn't realize 40 years. time goes by, and I am so glad that it's still here. And I'm so glad to see that Beth has that in her DNA, and she has taken this gallery and keeping it here, because it is such a needed part to Forward. We have all kinds of art, but there's nothing like this anywhere else in Forward. And I think it will always remain that, and with that. So with further ado, I am so excited and also honored to be able to introduce Mr. Gilbert Young, who has traveled here. That's one of the other beauties to Forward. There's always so many things going on, but it's all the gems of things that happen. And I think it's not any happenstance that you're here with us during this time period of Juneteenth, celebrating the month of June. I just think we're so glad that you're here with us. One of the things that with Mr. Young, many of you, what is recognizable, maybe you don't know his name, but his painting, He Ain't Heavy, is one that when you see that, you feel that's a part of it. That's such an expensive work that conveys so much to people. Feel free to come on in. You can come on in, yes, come on in. And you know Mr. Young as his title has international muralist and renowned artist, but his talent runs through.
A football game.
You better than a football game.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us down. My wife told me I was coming, as she always does. I draw, she directs, and helps me to continue on with the work. One of the problems is that this is not rehearsed, and I don't know what you guys want to hear. And I can talk about myself all day long. I'm trying to figure out what is it that you are most interested in for me to talk about.
Tell the Obama story, how you got that peace sign.
Again, I get directions. Well, okay, it's a wonderful story because I have a cousin, and his name is Joe, and Joe brings me back to Cincinnati every year, and I draw live on stage, and I perform a piece of artwork, like the one you see here, with the saxophone player, and I do that within a couple hours. All right, so when they take it out, I'm there to take it out. Anyway, Joe said Obama was running, and I was coming to Cincinnati anyway, to the NAACP was having their annual function up there, and he was going to speak in front of them. And Joe said, which was only about 2 weeks away, he said, "Hey man, paint Obama's portrait." And I said, "What for?" He said, "Because I can get you into the $10,000 plate dinner." And I said, "No, you can't do that." He said, "Yes, I can.
Okay.
Just paint the portrait." So I said, "No, I'm not gonna do it." Because I went online and I found out a million people had already painted his portrait. And so I told him, I said, well, what difference does it make if I paint something a million people already done it? And he said, well, it'd be better.
Okay.
So my head grew real big. And then I came back to earth, and I said, no, I'm not gonna do it. And he called back again the next day and said, did you get started? And I said, dude, you can't get me in there. He said, yes, you can. So anyway, I did the portrait, and I called my son, my son, and I said, hey, I'm gonna do a portrait of Obama. And he said, Dad, you gonna paint it? I said, yeah. He said, well, you're not the best painter in the world.
Oh, he did.
You know, I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, but nobody that I know can outdraw you.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna fix him. I'm gonna draw it and I'm gonna paint it on the same canvas.
Okay.
Okay.
So I did. And, oh, by the way, when I said to her, I'm gonna do a portrait of Obama, and she said, I ain't in it.
Is that your queen?
Yes.
Okay.
Even call it that, you know what the queen does, huh? The queen bee sends regular bees to work. So I went there, and guess what?
They
I
chose
couldn't get in to the
$10,000.
10,000 plate dinner. And so I was like, and I had a white assistant, right? And I had a big painting with brown paper on it, and we couldn't get in. They rejected us at the door because I wasn't registered and hadn't cleared by Secret Service. All right, so a old friend came out who was now some kind of congressman or something. He said, hey, go to room 2 something in the convention hall, be there because Obama's coming over there, that's where he's gonna speak. So I hurried up and went back to the convention center, from the hotel to the convention center, and it was a crowd, it was massive. You couldn't get through. People were just out in the street lined up, you know. And I remember my sister neighbor gave me a security pin of the convention hall there in Cincinnati. So I had a big security pin on me, right? So I would tell people, bullseye, security. So they parted the seats, right? And I go to this room, and there's a huge Secret Service man there. It looked like he was tall as the door. And you know how cool they are. They show no emotion. So I'm getting ready to go in this room, and he said, where you going? I said, in there. He said, no, you're not. He said, unless somebody come out and get you, you're not going in there. And I said to him, because she told me, tell a little lie. And which confused me. No, because she had been told, telling me all these years I was a liar. And now all of a sudden, I had to live up to her expectation. So I told the man, you don't understand. There is an easel waiting on me, and I have to present Mr. Obama with this painting. He said, I don't know anything about that. Unless they come out of this room and get you, you're not coming in here. And as I turned, in the middle of that huge hallway in the convention center, under one light was an easel empty.
It was God.
And I said, there's my easel. And he said, go get your easel. And I turned to the white guy and said, go get the easel. So now, we're still not in, and we're talking. Well, if you pay $10,000, you get a picture with the president of the president to be, because he was already elected, but he hadn't been installed. And so, we were talking kind of loud, and he said, shh. I said, what? He said, they're taking pictures. I said, oh, and they're in the other room, they're gonna come over here. And when they opened the door, because I'm a Cincinnatian, and they were in Cincinnati, a lot of people knew me. And they started glad-handing me, and, you know, because I was in Atlanta now, and how was it children, how was it, and all this sort of stuff. And they went into the room. And the white security person said, sir, get your easel and come on in. I got my easel, and I was setting up. I saw the podium. I saw the flags, and I said, yeah, sit up, with a white guy, set up right here. A woman with a clipboard came up to me, wait a minute, who are you? And of course I said, well, I'm Gilbert Young. You know. And she said, and she's looking for my name. And I said, well, I'm supposed to present a piece to Mr. Obama. And she said, we don't have you on the list. And I said, well, you people, and I should have said it that way. Because her neck went, you know how women do that. Back and forth, she said, I'm gonna get you out of here and I'm going to get security. So now she goes downstairs because all security, that room is secure, and they're down there securing the stage. And I'm in the room with all the dignitaries, and so I forgot one thing. I was glad handing people so I'd be first in line. I'm walking saying, hello, how you, and you know, getting close to first in line. And one of my cousins called me back and said, come here. I said, what? He said, come here. And I said, hey man, I'm in the front of the line. I'm gonna get to meet Obama. He said, I'm the mayor, fool. And it don't stop until I stop it. Now get behind me and I'll introduce you properly. So I got behind him. The Secret Service came in, he waved his hand and it's okay, he's all right. And now everybody got their picture taken, and here we come up, and the white guy come up with me, his name is Clint Buttons. And Clint, he said, Mr. Obama, I want you to meet my cousin. He's an artist who has something for you, and he'd like to present it to you. So Obama says, but who's the white guy? He didn't put it like that, but who's he? And so he said, okay, let me introduce, shake his hand first, and then here I go. So as I came up, I had a little heavy postcard, 5x7. And I shook his hand with one, you know, and I showed him the card. And Obama recognized the art. And he said, is this you? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, you're a legend.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
Now, of course, now, I told Clint, unveil the painting. And Clint unveiled the painting, and the crowd went, because it's a big thing. It was about 52 inches long. And he turned to me and he said, you made me look good.
Okay.
And I said, that's my job. Now, I got a silver pen in my pocket,
Okay.
but it's silver. Silver looks like metal. Secret Service are on edge. They're standing there look like this.
Ready to shoot.
Yeah, ready to take care of the president, to be. And I pulled the pen out real slow, and Obama said, what are you doing? And I said, we're going to sign it in front of you. And he said, nope. And he snapped the pen. And he said, I'm going to sign it.
Bam.
Oh.
And he bent over, and we both were bent over. He's left-handed too. And he said, it's going to be worth a lot of money. So we ended up selling 85 limited editions, $1,500 a piece. You see one back there.
That's the poster, yeah.
And then we sold, no, that's the.
Is that the limited edition?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we sold 40,000 posters.
Posters, yeah.
Yay.
That's the story of not, just pure luck and just a lot of God sent gifts to me over the years. And 2 years, about 6 years later, I was thinking, we wasn't selling as much art as I wanted to. Obama had fallen off a little bit. And I was like, oh man, I need a job. And Mrs. What's her name?
Scott,
Yes.
Mrs. Scott, David
This
Scott.
is David Scott's wife, who was a congressman. I did something with him. And Mrs. Scott said, Mr. Young, I was in my car. She said, how's your schedule? Well, my schedule was wide. And I said, not very tight. Why? She said, because the women of
The
Congressional Club
of Washington.
of Washington, D.C. want to commission you to do Mrs. Obama. So that's when I got to meet my fantasy lady, along with my wife and my son. And we went up and got to shake her hand, and I was so excited, I forgot that the woman hugged me, and then she teased me and said, how do you like that hug? And I didn't even remember that.
He said, what hug? So she hugged you.
No, that was in another world. But she did hug me, and they gave away all the prints because they could not pay me for the artwork. So they had to find another way to pay me. And so they produced a bunch of prints, and everybody that went to that event, they got a print free. And it was like, I never seen white people eat up so much art in all my life. They were like buzzards. You know, in a few minutes it was gone. So that's one of the great things that has happened. Every time I think that I going to do something or something's going to happen, and plan things, it's not really in our control as to where we're going to be. We just have to keep doing what we do and believing in what we believe in and working as hard as we can to be of excellence.
That's right.
One of the things that I tell young artists is that they're always saying, well, I'm working to have a show. You should be prepared at all times to have a show.
Yeah, right.
Okay? I don't work for a show. I just have enough work that I can show. And I'm not just bragging, but that's just about preparation. And as an artist, like all of us want to do, like this fellow Beck told me the other day that her husband said he would die at his easel. I wish the same for me. Because that's where our greatest love is. It is to be able to create and keep creating and do the best we can while we're here, because it is about the next generation. Creativity documents our history, documents our feeling, our love for one another. You know, being at this age, I don't beat my man here. He got 5 years on me. But you understand the long journey that we have been on. One of the things that we have always needed is your support for us financially, because that is key in this society that we live in. You know, we had a sale. It was Black Friday or something of that nature. And we put everything on sale on the website. And I went out to one of the shopping centers, just drove out there, and I watched black people go into, I think she has one of them Gucci bag places.
No, this is Chanel.
Oh, Chanel. I don't know either one of them. But I noticed that they had a $1,500 bag for 50% less, and they had to have a policeman out there.
Wow.
And most, 80% of the people in line were black.
My.
So it told me something, and tells me something about our values and what we really value.
Yeah.
You know, they can put a name on their product, and we can't wait to get it. All right? So I try not to wear anything with a name on it, except my name. Again, so when we look around the room and you see the many, it's almost like my travels, right? Some of these images came directly out of VA. And I'm sitting out there as an old soldier trying to get my medication. And at McDonald's when I go, after I drop my son off to go to work, I go to McDonald's and have a breakfast. And now this one is about 3 little girls that was in my church 1,000 years ago. They all were grown now and had kids. And the funny story about that is they knew what I was going to do as an artist. And the family came up to me and said, can we get prints for our family? And I didn't know how large black families could be. And I gave 100 prints away before. So the woman in black is actually with the black dress on is actually a collaboration with Charles Bibb. It's our 25th anniversary piece. We did a woman in purple dress, and we were very successful at that time. We sold over 1,000 pieces, and I think it's online for about $1,600 a piece now. So I always have to check with her because I do speak out of turn sometimes because I don't keep track of everything. And the boys there are actually my boys. Okay. But I cheated a little bit. The boys are much older than the little one with the frog. And I kind of took pictures and got old pictures and pulled it together behind this. This was one of my most successful pieces that we sold